Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. Today I wish to share with you about the IT control categorization. I classify the control securities. One is a management, the second is operational control, the third one is a technical control, and number 4 is avoidance control. Number 5 is assurance control. Number 6 is detection control. And the last one is recovery control. So this is the majority that the IT risk assessment or risk assessor need to categorize the type of control. So let's discuss together what are the control that we need to be addressed before we map the process and understand what is a process gap uh, between actual and requirement. The requirement that present in the policy and procedure. Normally the policy maker, they need to understand the nature of the control. What I mentioned, we have the 7 point. Okay, let's discuss about the control number 1, management control. If we talk about the management control, we focus on the overseeing and oversight on risk assessment, security planning. Security planning can be the majority can be many types of security planning, like network security planning, like physical and environmental security planning, like system and software development security planning, something like that. And the third one is a system and service acquisition procedure. This is also known as a management control. And number 4 is a control vulnerability assessment. The assessment focus on the vulnerabilities on the system, whether the system can be exposed to the external attack or internal attack, up on the assessment outcome. And the last one is a process of authorization and authentication. We refer to the AAA appliance. AAA appliance, we focus on authentication and identification. If we focus on NIST 853, this is a standard for the IT internal control. So the operational control, we classify one is personnel securities related to the HR function. So we need to check the background of the staff. We need to identify the role and responsibility. We need to identify the way of escalation, the group of work, and a lot of activity related to the personnel. And the second is a physical and environmental control. This is as a BAU that risk management team need to address properly, like access control from staff or from a vendor or from customer. When they access to the premise, they need to identify, they need to measure what are the type of the people. So the physical and environmental control need to be in place. For example, we place outside ATM at supermarket mall or mall at a supermarket. So we need to identify what is the potential of risk that lead to be a compromise or fraudulent activity on that area. Okay, if we talk about the facility in the data center or server room, is a part of the physical and environmental control. The third one is the continuity planning. Continuity planning is strategic management that management need to identify what is a chance that lead to crisis or failure in case of system failure or human error or whatever the impact to the system. So the organization need to create the contingency planning or disaster recovery plan to ensure the business can assume during the crisis period. Okay, this is very important in the management activity. The next is configuration management. Configuration management, we focus for any change or any update or any modification on the rule or on the structure or the coding or structure or restriction. So we need to control with the documentation, and we can say the version control from one version to other version, what are different, and what is a historical, and who is review, and what the interval of review. The configuration very important. So for every system deployment, we need to control the configuration, like security part, like a command line in a network device or core network system. So we need to address from one person to other version. So we need to keep on track on the version control. And the next is software and hardware maintenance. This is an area that data center management personnel or officer in charge need to identify. So this area relate to inventory or software inventory or hardware inventory, include the software license. So the maintenance can be the internal and external. Internal can be the staff that have the designated person to be in charge to monitor and check regular basis on the hardware and software performance. And for the external, we engage vendor to provide the preventive maintenance like a quarterly maintenance or monthly maintenance on a particular system or hardware that we concern as a significant. So the next is system integrity. This is also the operational control. System integrity, we talk about the incorporate or integrates from one system to other system. So we need to identify what is a gap in between one system to other system. So we need to make sure the integrity of system are in place and effectiveness of practice. So the next is a media protection. We're talking about the backup restriction rule and protocol, and also restoration. So the next is incident response. Incident response is very important. We make sure the readiness state of system recovery need to be in place in case of system outage or failure point or whatever from internal attack. And the last one is a security awareness program. Also include in the operational control. Security awareness program very important to provide the sufficient training or hands-on a particular concern or application or system to the target of audience to make sure they are aware and fully comply with the requirement. So the control number 3 is technical control. The technical control, we depend on the system. So like identification or authentication. This area, a lot of investment from this perspective. Some organization invest on the 2FA, two-factor authentication, access to the system. So the system need other third party for the code confirmation, like e-token or smart card or GSM SMS code to verify what is a successful system to be addressed during the transaction being performed by user. And the next is a logical access control. Logical access control, we refer to the way that we trigger into the system that we provide the certain privilege or user right to the particular business unit. For example, they are the role of a supervisor. So we need to gain the privilege right or access to inline the need to know basis or need to have basis. If their role are the officer or clerk, so we need to list their privilege or revoke some certain critical function as a maker and checker and authorizer. This is called a logical access control. And the third is audit trail and audit log. Very important, audit trail and audit log to identify who is access and when of access and the area of access. So this audit trail need to support the audit evidence and also support the forensic audit or investigation in case of fraud or in case of failure or for any event. The next is a communication protection, like we use the protection level on communication, like we use the redundancy link, or we use the cluster to protect the communication failure. Sometimes we need to engage the third party to understand our infrastructure that provide the best practice to protect the communication, to make sure the communication as to make sure the communication structure are stable and available at at the meantime of the operation side being execution. The last one is a system protection. System protection we refer to the safeguard of the system. So the system can be detected promptly from the unknown package or unknown access. So system will protect to address or determine who is the unauthorized access to be sniffing or spoofing on the system. This is related to the technical trigger, or we can say the technical control. And the next control is avoidance control. Avoidance control means we can say the checkpoint area. The system can restrict what area or once what is a certain trigger can be restrict on the principle of objective of the system. For example, the encryption and authentication. So all package in the clear text we need to encrypt to make sure the recipient or destination of the packet reader need to acknowledge on the packet that we send from source to destination, need to encrypt based on the basic requirement to make sure the packet received and obtained by authorized people. The next is a system security architecture. This is the way that we design relate to the security aspect. And the next is a facilitate risk analysis process. This area we need to make sure the risk could be addressed and analyze what is process risk, what is a gap analysis in the process, one process to other process, something like that. The next is information awareness program is similar to the top one. And the next is the information security program. It's a program that we design to involve with the information security and that protect the CIA. C stands for the confidentiality, I stands for the integrity, and A stands for availability. So the next is interruption prevention. This is a focus on prevention for any access. So we need to identify what area can be go wrong during the transaction being performed. The next is a policy and standard. So the policy and standard is a top requirement that approved by senior management or board to comply with the local regulatory or requirement to make sure the internal control requirement are fulfilled and apply to fit the purpose of the organization. And the next is public key infrastructure. This is related to the digital certificate or key that we provide to ensure the from the source and destination acknowledgement on the certain key or pin that we provide to measure what is authorized or unauthorized people during the access time. So the next is a secure application architecture. This is related to the SDLC, system development lifecycle. So the architecture or system design need to ensure the standard coding or standard module need to be secure on coding, on testing, on deployment in the area of SDLC framework. And the last one is a secure communication plan. It's related to the escalation process. Is the area that relate to the how to handle from one particular area to other area. So we need to have the plan. And the next control, we're talking about the assurance. If we're talking about assurance, we're talking about the quality of the control. So the assurance control may have application security review, standard testing, penetration testing, continuous monitoring program, evaluate and determine the inadequate control periodic parameter scan. This is focus on the application and system development. And vulnerability assessment, the area to make sure the critical function need to be reviewed regularly by independent reviewer. It's called assurance control. So the next control is a detection control. Detection control, we focus on 4 areas as a majority. One is intrusion detection from the network perspective. And the next is a remote intrusion monitoring. We remote or we need to track online service to detect for any intrusion or unknown package or unknown IPs that attempt to try to perform the eavesdropping attack. So the next is inadequate or suspicious accessing prompt to the system. This is an area that can be exposed from the internal attack. We can say the IT sabotage. So the auditor or risk assessor need to address this area as a significant way. So the next is administrator control. Administrator control, we refer to the alarm system or alert signal to what the threshold that we define as a standard requirement. For example, the hard drive, we set a threshold of 75%. And the ping request, we refer to the availability, we set 85%. And physical memory, we set a certain period of the we set a certain trigger of the threshold. So when the system to meet the threshold, so the system will automatically trigger an alert to the custodian automatically. This is the area that we known as the administrator control. So the last control we talk about the recovery control. Recovery control meaning the strategy of the organization need to ensure the crisis event can be handled by the proper document and procedure. For example, like a business continuity planning. This is related to the business area. And the next is a business impact analysis. Other way we can call risk assessment. Business impact analysis is the way that we assess what is a business can be impact during the crisis. So we need to address for all. After assessment outcome, so the assessor or BCM team need to provide the solution. What is MTD, what is RTO, and what is POI to provide the result or the outcome, whether the business can have any choice to select the best solution for the crisis period that the BCM team need to be coordinate and support for this area. So this is a high level perspective. The next is a crisis management planning. The crisis management planning can involve the contingency plan, can involve to the resource recovery, can involve with the in a certain of a vendor. We have a vendor A and vendor B to support our infra. In case of vendor A is not available, so automatically fail over to vendor B. It's a part of the crisis management planning. And the next is a DRP, disaster recovery planning. It's a focus on the system only. When the core system is not available, so the DR side or alternative system will automatically take over from the production system. In case of production system is not available during the business hour. So we focus only the system recovery. It's called disaster recovery planning. The next is an incident response procedure. is a procedure that describes the way how can we handle the crisis when the business face, for example, the transaction effect or virus attack or cyber security breach or cyber crime or something like that. So we need to have the cyber security incident response or for any incident response procedure that we need to be up to date and exercise regularly. The last one is investigation tool. Investigation tool, we refer to the forensic review or involved with the failure need to be determined what is a major root cause, what is the chance can be go wrong during the business operation. So this is just example like I share you. We have the categorized into the 7 majority of the control. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share this video.